Good morning, students. Welcome to our online classes. Students, today we are going to read chapter 3, that is Money and Banking, from the book Introductory Macroeconomics. And today in this chapter Money and Banking, we are covering the following topics. Here are the topics. Lender of last resort, custodian of foreign exchange reserves or balance, clearing house function, collection and publication of data. All these four comes under the functions of central bank. These are the functions of central bank, but I need to explain separately. Okay, students? Similarly, what is meant by liquidity trap? One separate topic this is. Now, one more questions. What is meant by or define repo rate and define reverse repo rate? So, these topics we are going to cover today, and this is the concluding part of this chapter. With these topics, after reading these topics, this chapter will come to an end. So this is the concluding part of this concluding video of this chapter, Money and Banking. So students, so listen carefully. Our first topic is lender of last resort. Students, in the examination, board examination, they may ask, explain why the central bank is also called the lender of last resort. Like that, they may ask 3 more questions, or they may ask 1 more question. So that's why I want to explain separately all these functions once again. I just told you, students, so lender of last resort, that is one of the function of our central bank in India. I mean Reserve Bank of India. That means a lender of last resort means generally the central bank helps all the scheduled commercial banks, or all the commercial banks in your language. The central bank helps all the scheduled or commercial banks in times of financial difficulties. That means whenever the commercial banks are facing shortage of the reserves, money reserves, they may approach to the central bank to get some fraction of amount, and at the time the central bank helps them financially. That's why here central bank is called the lender of last resort. I repeat, the central bank perform this function, and the central bank gives all the scheduled commercial banks the financial assistance during the time of financial difficulties by them. I can say like this, all the scheduled commercial banks, I mean all commercial banks in the country can take loan. They are not asking freely, and central bank is not giving freely. So all the scheduled commercial banks can take loans by rediscounting first class bills, the first class bills or short term approved securities. Whenever they don't, or they do not get, whenever the commercial banks do not get funds from any other sources, whenever any commercial bank is not getting financial help from any other sources, then at last by selling the approved securities or first class bills to central bank, the commercial banks can approach the central bank to give some financial assistance, and the central bank will give the same. Hence it is called the lender of last resort. Now move to our next topic, custodian of foreign exchange balance or foreign exchange reserves. Students, generally this is also one of the function of the central bank. Here it is very easy. I told in the previous videos also. It is the Central Bank of India, RBI, which is responsible to maintain the external value of Indian rupee in the international market. First thing, it is responsible to maintain the external value of Indian rupee in the international market, or the value of Indian rupee in the international market, the value of Indian rupee in the international market. At the same time, it maintains the balance of foreign exchange gold and bullions, bullions. That means here custodian of foreign exchange is one of the function of central bank. According to this function, the central bank maintains the balance of foreign exchange gold. The central bank maintains the balance of foreign exchange gold and the bullions, and also maintains the value of Indian rupee in the international market. Okay, now next one, clearing house function. This is the last function of the central bank or RBI. This is also one of the function, last function, the clearing house. The clearing house is the last function of central bank. Actually, the central bank performs the function, or I can say the central bank performs the function of a clearing house in the banking system of the country. I repeat, the central bank performs the function of the clearing house in the banking system of our country. How? See, the central bank clears the checks. The central bank clears the checks. CHEQUES. The central bank clears the checks received by the bank or received by a bank belong to other banks, issued by the customers without delay. I repeat, the central bank clears checks received by a bank. Whenever a bank is sending any check to the central bank or RBI, so the central bank clears the checks received by a bank belongs to other banks, issued by the customers without delay. Hence we can say it is also called the clearing house function. Now move to the next one, collection and publication of data. Collection and publication of data is also done by RBI or central bank. How? The central bank collects and completes the data. The central bank collects and completes the data regarding the other banks and publishes this information in the journals. I repeat, the central bank collects and completes the data regarding the other banks, and publishes this information in the form of journals, or they'll keep in the online, so that we can easily study the economic position, the role of banks, each bank, RBI found everything online. Okay, now moving to next one, that is, first students I'll explain repo rate and reverse repo rate. So what is repo rate and what is reverse repo rate? Students, you should know this one first. It may be asked for you for one more questions. Generally here repo rate, this one, repo rate or repo rate, what does it mean? It refers to repo rate refers to the interest paid by the commercial bank. Repo rate refers to the interest rate paid by the commercial banks to RBI against the loans and advances taken by them from RBI to meet their short-term needs. That means whenever any commercial bank takes, listen, it refers to the interest paid by the commercial banks. That means whenever any commercial bank, due to shortage of their cash reserves in the bank to meet their short-term needs. If the commercial bank approaches RBI for some financial help and central bank provided the financial help, in return the commercial banks along with the principal amount, they are providing certain interest rate to the central bank. I mean, commercial banks are paying the interest rate to the commercial banks. That is called repo rate. That is called repo rate. Whenever the commercial banks are paying some interest to the central bank against the loan which they have taken to meet their short-term needs is called repo rate. I read once again. Repo rate refers to the interest paid by the commercial bank to RBI or central bank against the loans and advances taken by them from RBI to meet their short-term needs. Clear, students? Now what is meant by reverse repo rate? Reverse repo rate. Quite opposite that one, reverse repo rate. It refers to, reverse repo rate refers to the interest received by the commercial banks from central bank. Whenever commercial banks are receiving the interest rate from the central bank, I repeat, reverse repo rate refers to the interest received by the commercial banks from the central bank against the parking of funds, against the parking of funds by the commercial banks. That means yesterday we have studied that commercial banks are keeping some cash of their demand deposits with the central bank, which will be decided by the central bank. So some cash they are keeping. Some of the commercial banks, whatever amount they are getting from the demand deposits from the public, that out of that one, a fractional amount that keeping with the central bank. So against that amount, the central bank is, the RBI is giving some interest to the commercial banks. So reverse repo rate is nothing but whenever it refers to the interest which is received by the commercial banks from the RBI against the parking of funds by the commercial banks with RBI. Okay, students. Now moving to our last topic, that is what is meant by liquidity trap. So students, it is one of the important topic. It may be asked. Generally students are not paying much concentration on such concepts. See, liquidity trap. Trap is what? You are coming under the control. Your trap means coming under control. So what is meant by liquidity trap? Listen. Liquidity trap is a situation. It's a condition. Liquidity trap is a situation or condition in which speculative demand function, in which speculative means what? Moving up and down, not steady. Okay, liquidity trap is a situation in which a speculative demand function is indefinitely elastic, not elastic, indefinitely elastic. It is explained as follows. Now I am explaining that one. The price of a bond, you know, bonds, debenture shares, bonds, debenture shares, like that. The price of a bond, BOND bond, has an inverse relation with the market rate, market interest rate. I repeat, the price of a bond has an inverse relationship with the market interest rate. If the interest rate is very high, and people expect it to fall in the future, and the people are expecting the interest rate may fall in the future, will come in decrease in the future, then the bonds prices will be rise, being inversely related to the interest rate. In order to earn capital gains in future, people will purchase bonds. Why people are purchasing bonds? In order to earn capital gains, in order to make capital gains in future, they are purchasing the bonds, as bonds are cheaper. Bonds are generally cheaper. That's why people are purchasing, hoping that the rate of interest will be increased in future. And hence the speculative demand for money will become low. On the contrary, on the other side, if the interest rate is low, if the interest rate is low and people expect it to rise in future, okay, then the bond price will fall. Then the bond price will fall, and in order to avoid capital loss, people will sell their bonds. People will sell their bonds and convert their bonds into idle cash balance. They are selling their bonds because in future they may not, the price may not increase, so they are selling the bonds and keep the money as idle cash with them. So liquidity trap is an extreme case. Generally it never arises. It's an extreme case, okay, of the latter situation. I mean the second situation. Sorry, yes, latter means what? Previous one, previous situation. When the interest rates are very low, when the interest rates are very low in the market, then everyone expect interest rates to go up in the future. Suppose if the interest rate is less now, so generally people's expectation is what? In future the interest rate may increase. Thus, to avoid capital loss, everybody prefers to maintain cash balance. Everybody prefers to maintain cash balance and not bonds. Consequently, the speculative demand for money. Is infinitely elastic. In this situation, if the additional money is pumped into the economy, then this will only satisfy the thirst for money. So this is called liquidity trap, students. Now by this chapter is ended. Hope you have understood all the concepts which I taught you today. So in the coming videos we will come up with some other chapters, some other topics. Till then, take care.